the 21st of June, 1899. Volume 2, Jesus says, "For love of you, I will not leave Corato." Jesus jokes with Louisa. Since he was not coming, I kept thinking, who knows whether Jesus will not come anymore, leaving me in abandonment? And I'd say nothing but, "Come, my beloved, come." All of a sudden he came and told me, "I will not leave you. I will never abandon you. You too, come to me." Immediately I ran to place myself in his arms. And while I was like this, Jesus continued, "Not only will I not leave you, but for love of you, I will not leave Corato." Then, almost without realizing it, in one instant he disappeared. I remained with a yearning for him more than before, and I kept saying, "What have you done to me? How is it so quickly have you gone away from me without even saying goodbye?" While I was pouring out my pain, the image of baby Jesus, which I have near me, seemed to become alive. And every now and then he would put his head out from within the glass bell to see what I was doing. And when he would see that I noticed, immediately he would go back inside. I said to him, "It shows that you are too impertinent and that you want to behave like a child. I feel I'm going mad with pain because you are not coming and you are there playing. Well then, play and joke as you please, for I will have patience." End of the reading. The 21st of June, 1911, Volume 10. There is no sanctity if the soul does not die in Jesus. I was thinking of the Celestial Mama when she was holding my always lovable Jesus, lifeless, in her arms, of what she did and of how she occupied herself with Jesus. And a light accompanied a voice in my interior that said, "My daughter, love acted powerfully in my mother. Love consumed her completely in me, in my wounds, in my blood, in my very death, and it made her die in my love. And my love, consuming her love and the whole of my mother, made her rise again to new love, that is, all from my love. So her love made her die, and my love made her rise again to a life all in me, of a greater sanctity and fully divine. Therefore there is no sanctity if the soul does not die in me. There is no true life if she does not consume all of herself in my love." End of the reading. The 21st of June, 1923, Volume 15. Difference between the soul who finds herself in the divine will because the divine will envelops her and is everywhere by its own nature, and one who prays and acts in the divine will, having the knowledge of what she does within herself. I was doing my usual adoration to my crucified good, and I was saying to him, "I enter into your will, or rather, give me your hand and place me in the immensity of your will yourself, that I may do nothing which is not the effect of your most holy will." Now, while I was saying this, I thought to myself, how is this? The divine will is everywhere. I am already in it. And yet I say, "I enter into your will." But while I was thinking of this, my sweet Jesus, moving in my interior, told me, "My daughter, yet there is a great difference between one who prays and acts because my will envelops her, being everywhere by its own nature, and one who, of her own will, having the knowledge of what she does within herself, enters into the divine sphere of my will to operate and pray. Do you know what happens? It happens as when the sun fills the earth with its light. Though the light and the heat are not the same at all points, at some points there is shade, at other points there is direct light and the heat is more intense. Now, who enjoys more light? Who feels more heat? One who is in the shade or one who is at those points where the light is not covered by shade. However, one cannot say that where there is shade there is no light, although where there is no shade the light is more vivid, the heat is more intense. Even more, the rays of the sun seem to invest and absorb the creature. And if the sun had reason, and one creature exposed herself of her own will to its burning rays, and in the name of all said to it, "Thank you, O sun, for your light and for all the goods you produce by filling the earth. For all, I want to give you the return of the good you do. What glory, honour and satisfaction would the sun not receive? Now, it is true that my will is everywhere, but the shade of the human will does not allow the soul to feel the vividness of the light, the heat, and all the good it contains. On the other hand, by wanting to enter into my will, the soul lays down her own and removes the shade of her volition. And my will makes its vivid light shine. It invests her, it transforms her into light itself. And the soul, plunged into my eternal volition, says to me, "Thank you, O Holy Supreme Volition, for your light and for all the good you produce by filling heaven and earth with your eternal will. For all, I want to give you the return of the good you do. And I feel such honour, glory, and satisfaction that no other equals it. My daughter, how many evils the shade of one's own will does. It cools down the soul. It produces sloth, sleep, sluggishness, the opposite for one who lives in my will. And after this, I found myself outside of myself, and I saw it as if contagious diseases were to come, and many people were carried to leper hospitals. A general fright was reigning, and many other maladies of new kinds. But I hope that Jesus may want to placate himself by the merits of his most precious blood. End of the reading. The 21st of June, 1926, volume 19. Saint Aloysius was a flower that bloomed from the humanity of our Lord, made bright by the rays of the divine will. The souls who will possess the kingdom of the divine will have their roots within its sun. This morning, having received Holy Communion, I received it as usual in the most holy will of God, offering it to my dear Saint Aloysius. Not only the communion, but all the goods contained in the most holy will of God for his accidental glory. Now, while doing this, I saw that all the goods contained in the Supreme Volition, like many rays of sun, rays of beauty and of multiple colours, inundated the dear saint, giving him an infinite glory. And my sweet Jesus, moving in my interior, told me, "My daughter Aloysius is a flower and a saint bloomed from the earth of my humanity and made bright by the reflections of the rays of the sun of my will. In fact, though holy, pure, noble, and united hypostatically to the Word, my humanity was earth, and Aloysius, more than flower, bloomed from my humanity. Pure, holy, noble, possessing the root of pure love, in such a way that in each leaf of his flower one can see written love. But what renders him more beautiful and brilliant are the rays of my will, to which he was always submitted, rays which gave such development to this flower as to render it unique on earth and in heaven. Now, my daughter, if Aloysius is so beautiful because he bloomed from my humanity, what will be of you and of all those who will possess the kingdom of my will? These flowers will not bloom from my humanity, but will have their roots within the sun of my will. In it is formed the flower of their life. They grow and bloom in the very sun of my volition, which, jealous of these flowers, will keep them eclipsed within its own light. In each petal of these flowers, one will see written all the specialities of the divine qualities. They will be the enchantment of all heaven, and all will recognize in them the complete work of their Creator. And while he was saying this, my sweet Jesus opened his breast and showed inside it an immense sun in which he was to plant all these flowers, and his love and jealousy toward them was so great that he would not let them bloom outside his humanity, but inside himself. End of the reading. There are no more readings today.